What's up, everybody? Here we go. What's up, everybody? Happy 4th. My Restream was down. Yeah, so my Restream took a minute to get reloaded. I had to shut my phone off and reload Restream. It was down for a minute. Well, how you guys doing? Sorry it's a little late. Not too bad, though. 18, 20 minutes. But we got it fixed, so there you go. I couldn't figure it out, so I just reload from the beginning and then reboot everything. Let's see if we can fix that one, too. So, anybody doing anything for the 4th? Not me. I think it's a little too dangerous with all the crazy, so unfortunate, but that's the way to go. You know, there's a lot of news going on. Some of it's old news. Like John Mayer's been using Fractal since 2019. No one talks about him being digital. Bonamassa is using the Fender Tone Masters, which is a digital amp. You know, and it's funny. June 20. Oh, because it's I went in and used my old live stream to get back on. That's how I had to do it. June 25th. I could redo that though. Let me see. Can you fix that? Let me not fuck with it. But so you know, it's kind of like this whole shilling idea, and it's been going on for a long time. A lot of people, what's up, Cool Breeze? A lot of people say, well, it's no new news, it's business as usual. But the problem with that kind of mentality is the fact that it's a lot of new news for youngsters. So that's why I talk about it. Record heat? Really? Wow. That's crazy. It's hot as shit here too. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's probably around 95, 98 degrees. But you know, we're in July. July, August are going to be the hottest. September will be hot. October it gets real humid, and then it starts to cool down. But you know, like a lot of the new news is really old news for some people, but the old news is actually new news for the youngsters. So that like the youngsters, and not everybody is up to speed on everything. Like, you know, everybody, you know, somebody just said something to me about PRS and Carlos Santana. He was the first that signed with PRS and blah blah blah. But what a lot of people don't know is here again, I'll show you guys so it's not from my mouth. Is Carlos Santana uses Fender in the recording studio. He doesn't use PRS because that's a money grab for him. He puts his name on a guitar, uses it live to promote it, and then bingo bammo. There you go. So let's see, do I have photos? Let's see, these are the photos. Let's go out of here. That's an old one, doxing. Let's see, Zims. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Zims guitars in a minute as well. So I had to take a picture of you can see my recording board too. He relies on Fender Stratocasters in the studio. So you can look that up yourself. Carlos Santana does not use PRS in the studio, even though it seems like he does. So there's this whole false front on... It's almost like like my cousin's on the PGA. He plays in the golf tours and stuff. They put head covers over the clubs. Now they might have Callaway on the bag, but they're playing Titleist clubs. And by PGA standards, you have to carry at least one club and one ball by Titleist or Callaway. I mean, you have to have something from the company in there, like a ball or one club, a wedge. Even if you don't use that wedge, you have to have it in the bag. That's the loophole stuff, and that's what guys like Carlos Santana don't tell you. I use my Fender Strat, which everybody talks shit about, and I record with that. But I use PRS Live because it's not a single coil. I'm not going to feed back on me, but in the studio, that's what I need. I need that harshness that PRS can't deliver. What's up, Guitar Box? Bradley, that Europe guy, or Bad Brad? I know Bad Brad's trying to do live streams. He still hasn't figured it out. A lot of these guys aren't doing the streams. Now a lot of people are trying to do the streams. They see that, um, like a lot of people that said, "Hey, you're doing a lot of streams, man." I saw a kid doing a lot of streams, and then I saw these guys, but they do it for money, so that but I don't do it for that. And I was like, you know what? I'll just as much as I can when I feel okay. I'll do some live streams whenever I'm able to. You know what I mean? We weren't doing nothing today. My back's still stiff from 2 or 3 days. Of course, the pain pills and the gabapentin always help. You know, no Bad Brad. Yeah, Bad Brad's trying to get in there. He does watch the stuff. That's why he put his GIT certificate on there as a year as a jazz professional. And he tries to counter the stuff I say, but again, you didn't hear him say that he took lessons from Paul Gilbert. He just said Paul was there. Am I going to start the walk and talk? No. I won't make it down the block. I'll be calling 911 and you know, staying in shape and everything, good for him. I give him kudos because I wish I could exercise and stuff. But, the problem with exercise, I was into running and bodybuilding. I had the six pack. I was always in shape. And it wasn't just from being young. I worked hard at it. I was talking about how you consume 40 grams of protein per meal every 2 hours per gram that you want to weigh. So if you want to weigh 200 pounds, you need 200 grams. So you divide 40 into the 200, and it's 5 meals at 40 grams. Anything more than that, it turns into fat. You can cheat it a little bit here and there. What's up, Mechanic Jams? But the science of that is that, and I used to run my 13 miles, 11 miles, and then every other day the 3 mile sprint. I mean, I was into it. You know what I mean? But walking's good exercise. I'm not gonna lie, but the amount of walking that he does is not enough. Just to get to the point to start burning fat from you at the rate that you have to raise your heart rate about 105 to 110, 130 to get to that fat burning stage. Walking is a hard push, so you're going to have to double your time. So if you run 45 minutes, 20 minutes after, that's when that kicks in and you start burning. A lot of people aren't going to tell you that's why cardio takes a long time, because it doesn't, the moment you get on a treadmill or you start running, it doesn't come off like that. You have to start burning into it to get everything out and start burning into the calories and then the fat. So it's 20 minutes before it even kicks in. So what we used to do is I used to get on the bicycles when I was younger, and I would bicycle for like 15 minutes and I would eat honey. And then I would get on a treadmill or I would run. So there's a science to everything. When you just walk, it's okay. But you're not going to gain a lot of the maximum effects from walking. Walking will help maintain certain things, but it's not going to let you burn off everything. It's kind of like Ozempic. They're using it as a fat burner to lose weight. That's okay for a certain amount of time, but you're going to have to get off of it. When you do, who knows the long-term effects? I'm diabetic, so I'm on it. Yeah, Bad Brad's not a bad guy. He's just trying to make money like everybody else. I just wish he'd be a little more honest about, the music. I know he's trying to ad lib everything up, and I still watch his channel. Out of a lot of channels, he's still one of the channels I watch because he's a decent guitar player, and he should be proud of the career he had. And I've said that to him. You shouldn't ad lib the stories, and you took lessons from this guy and that guy and this guy, and you were in the middle of the scene when you were 88, 89, you were almost into the grunge era. Just be a little more honest. People still accept you, but they're going to accept you more for the honesty. You know, I've even said this a long time ago. The reason why I went to University of Miami was because I thought the GIT certificate was exactly that. It's not a degree in music. It's a certificate upon a course completion. It's a bullshit fucking certificate. There's no college credit in there. There's not. So it goes into that play, and a lot of people will use that. And look, I studied at Berkeley, a summer online class. Just tell everybody I studied at Berkeley, but I went there for 4 years, which is a lot different than a summer class or online. You know what I mean? You just got to be honest about what you're doing. That's all. Like I was talking to Eric that manages Brett Carlisle from Great White and does all these shows here, and he called me today, and I said to him, he's like, hey man, those tracks are awesome that, on the live stream. He goes, or when are you laying vocals? I said, well, we're going to resume rehearsals and stuff. And he's like, I want to book you guys, so we'll see. But, I'm not going to lie, to him. I said, my wife had cancer. She had it cut out. So I pushed it off for a little bit. Again, it's family first, friends, and then the music. I'm not going to bullshit anybody, just like I told him, this guy wasn't good enough. This guy was good, and he's helping Gabe Cologne from Lynch Mob and stuff. And Gabe's been busy, but he's back with George and stuff. So that's why he wasn't able to do that. But he still might do some stuff with us. I don't know, in the future. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on that a lot of people don't talk about. It's like the Carlos thing, Carlos Santana. Why are you recording with your Fenders? Because it's a superior guitar than your PRS Santana. Just say it. I know it's a money game. You put your name on something, the PRS Santana, and everybody's going to fucking buy it and you make money off of it. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm glad that Carlos actually said, I have to use my Fender in the studio. You know what I mean? And then the problem with the guys like John Mayer and Joe Bonamassa that they don't want to talk about is because they're moving away from those vintage amps. They're not reliable. Not reliable. But I do like Bad Brad. He could be a good dude. He seems like a nice guy, and he's just trying to promote himself in his channel. I have no problem with that. I just wish he was a little more honest. You know what I mean? That's all. Yeah. You have to know somebody. You can't skill alone is not going to cut it because there's a lot of guitar players that outplay you that never make it, and there's a lot of guitar players that don't play as well as you that do make it. It's all about connections in the industry. And so you remember a band called Firefall? They were huge in the 70s. Firefall. I'm friends with the songwriter from that, and I don't want to say what he does, but let's say it's an honorable job, but it's not something that you would expect somebody like that made some money does. But he asked me, he said, hey, can you help me get back in the business? And I was like, that's a tough thing to do because I'm like, send me some of your new songs. You got that under your belt that you were the songwriter for Firefall. You've written some top tens. Let me hear your new stuff before I put my name on the line. Because when you put your name on the line, that's who they come after. Not who you put up for them to look at. It comes back to you. If I recommend a singer for like Skid Row, it comes back on me. What the fuck you doing, bro? That guy sucks. That's just how it is in the business. Yeah, so I know the songwriter from Firefall. Great fucking band, a lot of hits. And I know, I'm not going to say his name, but I know the songwriter. And he didn't sign NDAs. He's actually credited with that. He's going to send me some new music that he's been writing. and he's been helpful with some guitars. He knows guitars very well. He's a guitar player that writes and stuff, and he works with some other people locally. But I'm gonna listen to the new stuff, and then I'll determine what, because Matt Kramer is gonna record again from Saigon Kick. Now I don't know what he's gonna record. He wasn't singing. I got him singing, but he said his voice isn't strong enough to do the rock and stuff, and he's not sure right now. But if that's the case, maybe I hook him up with Matt Kramer and they can write some stuff together, and then Matt has connections still in the record industry as well. So maybe that might be a really good connection, because I mean, Love is on the Way was a great written song by Matt and Jason from Saigon King. Love is on the way. That was one of their biggest hits. That stuff is what put Matt and Saigon Kick in the limelight. So maybe I can help Matt out at the same time. He was playing in PRS. Maybe. I don't know the guys on Firefall. Or the latest ones. You saw Dave Mason at a Holiday Inn? Holy shit. It's funny because I had a friend send me some video of Sabotage from at the Art Stocks Playpen South in '89. And I could see myself in the front. I could see me because I had huge hair and I'm tall. I was watching Chris look at me and stuff. It was really hard to watch. Yeah, Firefall was a great band. I thought they wrote incredibly nice songs, like well structured with melody. They were a great band. And you know what? I forgot about them because they're an older band, but they were Atlanta Rhythm Section. Another fucking great band no one talks about. And some of the stuff he wrote when he was working with Firefall filtered over into Atlanta Rhythm Section, he told me. He said they used a couple of his songs as well. So it's interesting. And he's older. He's probably like 75, 76, but he's in great shape. He might be, well, he might not even be that old, actually. He might be about 70. I'm 60. He might be about 70. I might be adding years on. He'll get mad. But yeah, so we'll see. So I wrote down my phone number and my email. I said, he said he'll burn some of the stuff and then send it over. So we'll see how that goes and everything. For teching for Ed. Yeah, Ed was a mad scientist. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. Like, Eddie Van Halen was so recognized for his lead playing. No one talks about how great of a studio guy he was at mixing on the board and his songwriting aspects. Yeah, Atlanta Rhythm Section, man, they had some great tunes too, bro. We tend to forget about some of these big bands, that were back in the day. You know, even Blue Oyster Cult, you start thinking about the songs they wrote back then, like Godzilla, Don't Fear the Reaper. What great songwriting, and what a great guitar player, and even great tone Buck Dharma had. Craig Giacchino from Starship. What a great guitar player with great tone, great leads, great songwriting. Man, Greg Giacchino was a big influence when I heard like a lot of those playing the Jane, like Jane. Oh my God, I used to be infatuated with that song Jane. Just the rhythms of it, the vocals. That song was unbelievable. Jane, Starship, man, giving me goosebumps talking about that stuff. There were so many great bands that had incredible songwriting gifts, and they had great guitar players. Secret Treaties, yeah, man. And we tend to forget about these bands, but it's funny. And then You know, I watched Sasquatch did a new video about the Rick Beato thing. John Norm's, oh yeah, he's smoking good. You know, I was watching the Sasquatch video. It's about Rick Beato talking about the Red Shoal video, and here's Rick wearing the same fucking jean jacket and a black T-shirt. I'm like, oh my god, you, it's like Rick. You look like AI talking about a real person, because you and Rhett look like AI now. How do I know you're not AI? Yeah, I love so the hard thing about me in listening to music is I dissect it as soon as I hear it. And I listen to all the parts. I listen to the bass, the keyboards, the vocal lines, and then I listen to it as a whole. When I should listen to it as a whole, but like the sound of the way it is written and structured with the tones is what intrigues me. And as soon as I hear it, my mind goes into, like, you've seen me get caught up on a lick in here, and then my mind starts working like overload and stuff, and I'm like, oh. But I that's one of my downfalls. Instead of appreciating music, I have to learn to sit back and just listen to it as a whole. Now that I'm a little older, when I go back and I listen to Atlantic Rhythm Section or Starship, I start to ask myself, wow, you didn't even like, you didn't understand the complex. You just dissected it and knew that all the parts were so well matched, and you were obsessed with the actual formation of that song and how it was constructed and stuff, because I was into music and sound. But now that I go back and I listen, what a great structured song. Now I appreciate it for what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, they start off as a southern rock band for sure. They were like around the Florida, Atlanta, kind of, some members lived in Florida and Atlanta and around that area. Great band. Dave Mason was great. Dave Mason had some good stuff back in the day as well. But Mickey Thomas, his vocals, man, Jane, man, that I can still hear those pitches. Jane, you're freaking way up there. You know, they talk about Mike Machevick and Steel Hard, but Mickey, holy shit. Spooky and Imaginary Lover, yeah, man, they're all good. You know, who was the wrecked up like a deuce in the something of the night? Who was that one? Wrecked up like a deuce in the middle of... Man, that was, I forget who that was. That wasn't Jim Croce. Who was that? I can't remember who that was. Yeah, your live was cool, man. I'm glad I get to call it. I just happened to scroll and I saw you were live and I was like, yes. Dude, you were on there for a long time. I fell asleep. The music was so pleasing. I was watching and listening, and then I woke up and you were still on. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, yeah. Those bands are the pioneers. Black Oak, Arkansas with Jim Dandy. You know, that's where David Lee Roth copped all his look from. You know what I mean? Black Oak. Manfred Man. Oh, Manfred Man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blinded by the Light. Another great song. Damn. Blinded by the light. Rigged up like a deuce. Now I hear the pianos and stuff. Yeah, that's great stuff, man. Even some of the first John Cougar stuff. But what was the name of that one song? He had a when I first heard him, John Cougar had an incredible song. Let me see. Someone will probably say it before I find it. John Cougar early song. I forget the titles, but yeah, so they're listing all the famous ones, but he had I Need a Lover. I need a lover that won't drive me crazy. I need a lover won't drive me Man, what a great fucking song that was. I need a lover. And I used to always get that confused with the Eddie Money. I need a lover. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I can appreciate Bruce Springsteen for what some of the stuff he did, but I wasn't a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. You know, Born in the USA, that was a pop. Born in the USA. I didn't care for that. Never really liked that song. And I liked more earlier Bruce Springsteen, like when he was first young and it was more bluesy and less pop oriented. You know, Two Tickets, yeah, Two Tickets and I Need a Lover were very similar because they had those like intros and stuff. Two Tickets to Paradise and I Need a Lover. What a great fight! Why doesn't any cover band play those two songs? Eddie Money, Two Tickets to Paradise, I Need a Lover That Won't Drive Me Crazy. John Cougar. Born in East LA. That would be a great song for Cheech and Chong. Yeah, something twists in some of their heads, you know what I mean? Molly Hatchet too, yeah. Step Blanchard was a friend of mine. He played with Molly Hatchet and Russ Maxwell. He was in the band for 16 years. I didn't know the guys before that, but I've seen them. I've seen the original Molly Hatchet. Yeah, I loved watching all those really long leads where they would solo back and forth. They were like the southern they were almost like a hard rock southern rock band of the Eagles. The Eagles were somewhat like that with those long jams like Hotel California, but Molly Hatchet was they perfected that. I think they had the triple guitar solo thing down better than any band out there, better than Skinner, better than anybody. Molly Hatchet was one of those bands that just were so good at that. Yeah, I don't like we've talked politics, we've talked religion on the show, and I mean it's okay a little bit, but you can't. The thing about this channel when we talk about that stuff is we're not pushy about it. It's okay to have a discussion about it and try to get your viewpoint across. But at these shows, these Chris Robinsons and the Bruce Springsteens, they're pushing the agenda on people. Like for me, I don't care what side you believe. That has no bearing on me. I don't care if you like Gibson over Fender. That has no bearing on me. I don't care what amp you like. That has no bearing on me. What has a bearing on me is you telling the truth and saying, you know what? I love Charvel. Why? It's a better made guitar than some of the guitars for the money. Now, what I won't do is throw, say, who makes a similar guitar? ESP. You know, I'm not going to throw ESP under the bus saying that this is a superior guitar just because I think so. Yeah, most of the stuff I write in my early days is on piano. All the expose stuff and all that, a lot of the pop songs are written on over here. You can see the Fender down there. It's a Yamaha MMA. I write most of my stuff on there, and some people say, why don't you get a newer keyboard and stuff? And I was like, because I'm not really into playing piano and keyboards, but why? I can create any keyboard sound that I want with I can do a piano part in AI and tell it to make it sound like this, and then put that part on a track. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly, mechanic. You know how it is. You can disagree, but you still can be friends with people. That's the difference between us on here. We're not going to tell people to fuck off. Now if Rachel came on here, I'd tell him to piss the fuck off. I'd tell him you're a fucking shill hag motherfucking. I would throw every name at him. The Outlaws were great too. Yeah. They're from Florida, I believe, as well. Because I know one of the granddaughters of somebody in that band. Her son just committed suicide a couple years ago. Yeah, Joe Wentz. This is his guitar. That's Joe's old guitar. I traded. Me and Joe did a. I go on his channel. He was on last night. I was on there talking with him. I love Joe. Joe. See, Joe. What I like about Joe is he's in the middle somewhere too. But he's an honest guy. He's not gonna bullshit people. You know what I mean? He's just a good natured guy that works hard for a living, plays guitar and loves what he does. He's not gonna lie to everybody. Firefly's the greatest guitar in the world. Harley Benton's the greatest guitar. They're okay, but they need upgrades. I mean, you can just Google it and find out what it is. Yeah, the beauty of America's freedom of speech. Yeah, exactly. Like I can tell you what I think. Do I think this guitar is worth 3 grand? No, but it is handmade in the Czech Republic, who have been building cellos and violins for fucking thousands, hundreds of years. I don't know about thousands, but we'll say hundreds of years. So they made that guitar because PV don't hand make USA guitars no more. I don't think. So this is from the Czech Republic. Do I think this is one of PV's best builds? Absolutely. Do I like this better than the USA Wolfgangs? Absolutely. I think this guitar kills them all. I do. It's handmade by some of the best luthiers in the world out of the Czech Republic that are building guitars for hundreds of years. Now, do I think this is a great guitar? Absolutely. Is this handmade? I don't think so. What guitar would I rather have? This guitar. Why? Because I'm not gonna be upset if I ding it. You'd love to see Rick. I've told Rick to have me on his show. I said I beg you to have me on your show. Me, you, and Rhett Scholl, and Tom Bukovac, and all of them. He never answered me back. I've had people contact him as well. He won't have me on his show. He's afraid what I have to say to the bigger community. But he listens too. I mean, I told him to knock that shit off with the copyright. So Rick Beato's net worth somewhere around $5 million. I mean, it'd be a shame if he lost his channel, wouldn't it? And all credibility, you know. And then once you piss off YouTube, you've pissed off the guy that owns Google and this, and that goes all the way to Universal and Bill Aikman. I mean, there is a point. It's like, do you know who Mary Splendor is? Let's talk about Mary Splendor. She was just on there. Oh, by the way, um, the guitar player that I'm friends with, Griffey, the black dude that plays blues, he came back to YouTube. So check out him. But Mary Splendor was just on Rick Beato not long ago, and I just commented to her. And somebody said, well, it was more about the AI use, and I stopped with Spotify and this and that and the pay. And I said, listen, you're not going to put a dent in Spotify. It's owned by 10 cents, and all the music, the money that 10 cents make, 10 cents, Spotify for them is just a junk channel. 10 cents from China is making all their money off of gaming, Fortnite and all this. They own all the gaming and all the music to the gaming. They could give two shits about Spotify. That's why they don't care if you join it or not. But if you, and then somebody said, well, I was just talking about the AI coming out and messing with people. And I said, listen, you can't, you're not going to get rid of AI. So my advice, do better, be better, write better, promote better, and beat AI. Yeah, Mary Splendor. I think, I don't know what side of the thing she is. Oh, Robert D. But she doesn't get it. That's why she's not popular. Bruce Springsteen, Rachel, Robert De Niro collab. Yeah, it would be an incredible show because, I've told him before, you know, I would I would decimate him. I said, there's, you're not gonna bullshit me. And then the problem is, I'm gonna go after Rick, and I'm gonna tell him, why don't you fucking tell the truth about Shinedown and how you got in there, and stop fucking parlaying that, and stop bullshitting people. And then he's gonna go, his new face, Red. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? That's why they don't want me on there. They know, and I'm already banned from fucking Philip McKnight. Now that was funny. So Zim's guitar has Philip McKnight guitars. They have a Joe Bonamassa on consignment at Zim's guitar that he said he's only 15 minutes away from Phil, that they're friends. If Philip McKnight has his own reverb channel and he has his own YouTube channel, why is Zim's guitar got something on consignment from him where he's got to actually, out of $1,000, pay him a fee? Something don't make sense about that. Something's very, very wrong. Mary Splendor. Splender. She's an okay guitar player. I mean, you're going to have to write better songs. You're going to have to market yourself better. You're going to have to promote yourself better. And if you think you're going to do that without having money, I'm sorry to tell you, you ain't going far. It takes money to make money. That's why you need the labels. They got billions of dollars. Yeah, Philip McKnight is not worth a lot of money, Jerry. His net worth is on his channels like 85 grand to maybe at most, say at the high end, 200 grand. And that's for all the years he's been on YouTube. How did I get banned? They blocked me from commenting on the live streams. Because once you get blocked, you can't go back on. There's a way to do it, but I don't know how, and I don't really care. But the problem is he doesn't want people to know the truth. If you watched his last live stream, he was jumping and yakking all over. He was either on something or he was just fucking nervous as fuck. Now, I will tell you, since Philip McKnight has been with Gabe, don't forget, you had the Philip McKnight guitar that he promoted as one of the best guitars for under $200. Maybe his overstock that isn't selling of all those old guitars, where he had to sell his store, or because he invested in all these guitars, just maybe he was trying to pitch Gabe on the idea to sell his branded Philip McKnight guitars as a GC guitar and get a cut. Oh, make millions and start using other people for bullshit. This is what I mean. They're not honest with everybody. Why is Philip McKnight so entailed in Gabe and Guitar Center? There's got to be a reason. I think it's either for a fucking job or to resell the Philip McKnight brand guitar for that was under $200 that Zims did 5 years ago. And he gets a cut. So you sell it at $300. He gets $100, and Guitar Center gets $100, and it costs $100 to make. iPad suck with the auto tune, correct? Oh yeah. You're laying in bed Subway morning, not even saying, you're laughing your ass off. Oh yeah, he was making horrible remarks, and people were going after him a little bit. Yeah, she's more. Yeah, Mary Splendor's more of a musical teacher, in my opinion. She's a decent guitar player, but it takes more than that. You don't. People got it all wrong, man. I keep using Sex Pistols and the Ramones. Even Kirk Hammett is the perfect example of the lesser of Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, who made more money than both of them together. Why? Because the music was better. It was more accepted by the people. People have to remember the idea that you have to, if you're in it as a business, you have to write what the masses love, not what you like. Yeah, it's like Jonathan Nathan Corda. Now he's doing another video. Well, he just did another video. on something. He's not a leader. Like he whatever the hottest thing is up and videos popping up, he surfs the net and then does a video on it. It's like he can't even get his own. He can't get his own ideas. All you have to do is be honest. But see, if you're honest and you start bad mouthing companies, no one's going to give you business. They're not going to help you. They want the do boy. Kind of like if you at work, if everyone has a job, you can't go in and tell the company CEO, listen, your decisions suck, bro. You need to do this, you need to do that. Even though you're smarter than him and make more sense, you'll get fired. Now, if you're the do boy, John, everything you say is great. I love your ideas. Let's do lunch. That's what they want to hear. But in reality, that's not good for business. How many businesses have closed with some of the most elite, book smart people on paper? Used to have Builder's Warehouse before Home Depot. Failed. Homeowners Builder's Warehouse or something. Some of these, you got BrandSmart still around, but some of these other companies fold. Like they're all book smart people that are CEOs and they all fold. Why? Because they think that they're right and they don't have people to tell them that they're wrong. I think she's English or something. Yeah, Mary Splendor. Yeah, happy 4th of July to everybody. Yeah, man, don't run too fast, bro. You don't want to trip. Have a great day, man. 420. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that goes into some of this stuff, but a lot of people don't want to tell the truth because the truth isn't going to make you money. Lying and propaganda makes you money. It's just how it is. And then you start looking at the Jake Pauls that screw people on the Bitcoin, and this guy and the Logan Paul did the Pokemon card and ripped the fucking people off. I mean, it's just end over end over end of bullshit propaganda that people want. Yeah, TED Talks Guitars, I think, is a new channel I just watched, and he was telling you, yeah, nothing lasts forever. The truth will, though, because you can't change it. You know what I mean? The truth will always last forever because you can't deny the truth. And if you can't deny the truth or question the truth and have a different answer, like if you have A and B contradicts itself, C can always contradict it. But you can only, out of the three, have one truth. Thanks, man. Yeah, and I've been in the business for so long. I don't have anything to gain from any one of you. I never tried to sell anybody anything. I never tried to sell anybody a guitar, a music lesson, nothing. You know, nothing. Because I'm not that kind of person. I already made enough money. It's like Gene Simmons. Bro, when's enough enough? You got so much fucking money. When is enough enough? When you can't sell your mom. You know what I mean? He would if he could. But I mean, there becomes a point in life that you make your money and you're going to have to start being honest about it. Yeah, high end guitars will put you out of business for sure. Again, you have to look at the numbers, right? How many great guitar players are on the level to play a high end guitar? There's probably 10%, right? But out of that 10%, how many have that money? A doctor, a lawyer to buy a five, six, $7,000 guitar? You know what I'm saying? But how many people can go out and buy a fucking Fender beginner pack with guitar, the case, the amp, the cord for like $180? What's up, Michael? Yeah, the purple one won't. The one you'll have to ask my kid if you're still around when I'm gone. My kid gets that with all the NDAs. All the NDAs will be in the case with that. That one's actually not here now. I signed that one and put it away. I try, like my buddy Rob from Guitar World. He wants my Red Jackson, and I was playing that, and I said I might sell it for $700. shipped with a case. And he goes, he was texting me, and he's like, I really want that guitar, man. And I go, well, I changed my mind. He goes, I'll give you 800. I give you, and I was like, man, that's tempting, but I kind of really like that guitar. It's a Jackson, which is owned by Fender. It's got the Fender headstock. It's upside down like the old Strats. It's just really cool. Firehouse was great. Another great band. Why you suck? You've been playing forever. Well, you gotta stop. Here's what I'll tell you, man. You're gonna have to probably take local lessons and try to find somebody that's really good that understands not just theory, but how to teach. So the reason why kids fail in school is because they're trying to teach a class that has, say, 20 kids in it. Out of all those 20 kids, they're from different cultures, different nationalities, different DNA. Their brains are all wired differently. Some may process information the same, some maybe in the middle, half understand it, and some don't understand it at all. Because our thought patterns are different. Obviously, you've seen me play. I string skip and do stuff that I do some of the same technique, but I do it in a different way because my brain's wired different. With your brain being wired different, I didn't think the same as most guitar players, but I also studied piano. So I had a different understanding of music going into the guitar, as well as learning licks and certain things and getting different ideas, because the piano wouldn't do what a guitar did. And even though I wanted to play like a piano line on the guitar or a guitar line on the piano, I realized you can't do that. You're going to have to do it a different way. So when you're finding an instructor, you have to find somebody that knows how to try to teach down that road, down this road, and down that road. It's not what you teach, it's how you teach it. Mechanic and Tony are wired different. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the problem. I played it because I don't play it, and then I played it, and I was like, I was even thinking about getting rid of this one. And I was like, because I don't play it, but it's such a cool guitar, and then I played it. So I was like, I don't play it much. Maybe I'll just get rid of it and get somebody a good deal on it. But then I was like, man, the problem is if you want to get rid of them and then you play them, then you get sentimental again. Oh, the guitars, yeah, yeah. And there's some more over there, but you get and then I really like this guitar. This is why I bought it. And then you go, I don't know. Play jazz tracks. You should have bought it the Comanche. Yeah, the music courses YouTubers sell are annoying because here's the thing: they're not musical instructors and they don't know theory well enough. So, like, again, if you're if I talk about, and we'll talk about some more other stuff, but like if I say this is E pentatonic, that's the same as barring the 12th. E, G, G. They're just repeated notes on both sides of the scale. A, there's an A, C, and then you start going, well, those are my pentatonic scales in G major. And you're like, what? How does that make sense? But it is. So then you start looking at the notes. There's an A power chord. Why is that an A power chord? Well, there's an A. And what's that? E. E and A. And then you realize how much sense that makes. Oh, for 1,000, the Bonamassa? Yeah, I don't understand if... Why is Philip McKnight going to lose money and consign something with Zims when he has his own reverb channel and he has his own channel? Why don't he pitch his own guitars on the channel? Like, if I was going to sell this and I say, hey, man, send me an email. JITTBOY, the guitar. Maybe I'll sell it. You know what I mean? I could sell it and you could Zelle me the money, and then I'll say, what's your address, and I send you the guitar. Why isn't he going to do that and just save money? Yeah. Jazz tracks are really good to play too. Because you'll hear a lot of different notes and scales and where you can move. Again, same with the drone note. Like I did, let me see. Let me see if it's on here. Menu. Song. Yes. Load. Let me see. Let's see. Menu. Song. Yes. Load. I think it was this one. Let's see. Let's see. What is this? That's not in tune. Let's see. Let's see if this is in tune. What I just did there, tuning a guitar to a pitch like I just did, will train your ear. Believe it or not. Because you got to listen to the note. Now this has springs. But just listening to that, just listening to different scales over a drone note will help you mess around. Yeah, it's hard to make that sound musical. You're absolutely right. Because there's no resolve. It's just... result. There's no melody. Like, you got nowhere to go. So, like, you got nowhere to go. There's no melody. So when you start listening to, so you're like, well, where do I go from an E minor? You have to think of the fives. That sounds okay, but that's C major. So. B. 5. So now you start thinking, well, E sounds good. Then you start looking at, okay, you can't really do nothing, but I could go B to A. And the reason why that works is the D to the G. So then you start thinking, well, I'll just use the minors. And then you start figuring out over a drone note. But that's the hardest thing to do right there. And playing out of tune, yeah. So you gotta... But like, you could go through a G major scale. Watch this. Let's go through a G major scale, because this is E minor, which is G major. Let's play the whole G major scale and see what tones work. Go through C major. And then you got to start looking at other scales and systems around that. Almost sounds major. Yeah, it's not though. But you could play. It's because you could play A major or that. It's not really E major. The first part sounds good, but you got an A and a B in E major. But yeah, so it's not really E major. And then you got one rhythm. A minor will work. So with B minor. Because those are all 5 to the 1s. But you don't want to land on a B. You want to resolve to the E. So if you play B minor, so that's how you start listening to tonalities. That's more or less, that has nothing to do with scales, because you can use relative scales, but then you start listening to drone notes and tonality. Because like I said, a C with the F sharp minor or half diminished, that's in the G major scale, but it clashes. So that flat 7 clashes with the 7. And that's a really good point that you guys bring up with this, because it's about tonality. No matter what the scales dictate and it says that you can play, you have to actually check out the tones. Just because they say you can do it doesn't mean it's going to sound good. You know what I mean? So that's an important factor. So you want to start looking. But see how that clashes? 432. I have some guitars tuned to that. So like, yeah, it would be kind of like going. Man, that just sounds better to my ear. You gotta up your game. A Peterson strobe, yeah, those are really good. It's you can get as good as you want. It depends how you practice and what you practice. The problem with most people, like they'll come in here, like, and if I do this, I'm already good at that, so why do it? It's great for a warm up, but I need to practice stuff that I can't do. Like I was showing the other. I got to practice the stuff that I can't play, not the stuff that I'm already good at. And that's a hard thing to do, to practice the stuff that you kind of suck at. You know what I mean? Because I'm already good at. You know what I mean? So if you're trying to practice stuff that is hard for you, like what was I doing the other day? So like creating new licks, and I gotta practice it. You gotta practice what you can't play. EVH and PV? No, I didn't see that. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people. It's just in all how you use your time. You know, you can be like it's all what you do with it, really. I mean, if you're one of the best guitar players in the world and all you did is sit in the studio and no one got to hear you, no live stream, what good is it? It's only as good as what it matters to you as a person. But if you want to share it, what would you rather do? Spend 20 hours on a Kemper going a little less chorus? Or trying to find perfect pitch tuning? Or get your point across. Hey man, you could do this. Or play that lick. Yeah, you gotta stretch out. Now, see, and you're absolutely right, because you have no direction where the drone note's going. It's one note, so it limits your choice over the note, and that's where you have to think about all the choices for every note in the scale that you're playing over a chord. You know, so if you're playing, and then the rhythm dictates it. So, like if I take away. I take away the drone note, right? Tuning don't matter. It only matters to be in tune with the other instrument. Then you change the atmosphere, because now you're freed up. You can play whatever you want. That's why the drone note is hard. It doesn't take in any direction. It doesn't move. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go down. It's one note. So even if I'm soloing over this, like there's no notes under it. You can do whatever you want. And then you're waiting to see where that goes. The open strumming is very smooth. Yeah. So, and this is another good way to practice. You take a drum loop. You go, I don't like that. Then you go. Nah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. And then you go, well, I might could work with that. So then you start figuring out the parts that you like, and you start putting them together. So, and here's the other part of this. Don't play your rhythms to the actual drums all the time. Don't. Change up your rhythm pace on guitar. Or slower. More staccato. So that now you're altering your rhythm changes over this one kind of drum track. So you're using like you're using it as a metronome, but you're also influenced as changing your rhythm patterns in your tempos. Because if you start playing too much, you're gonna it's cool for a minute. Then you start thinking more, well, let me create an intro. You start adding licks, and you manipulate, you change it all around, so that you're not using the drum track as one way. You're actually manipulating your mind to think of other possibilities over that one tempo, so that you can alter your playing. Yeah, rhythm is if I told anybody any musical advice, rhythm is the most important part of the song. Especially when you add melody. Now you start playing chords like... And then you start adding little notes in there to move it around. That's very important. And that's probably the most crucial advice I tell anybody. Work on and what I really like about Joe Wentz, he's got a great sense of rhythm. He's a great rhythm player. He doesn't realize how good his rhythm playing is. He's right on time. I watched him play with those tracks last night, and I was like, man, he's got great timing. A lot of that comes from playing with tracks and playing with like drum loops and stuff. And just even if it's a single note. And this is snare. Accent that note. So then you start listening to different things that you can actually get in there. Yeah, that's why I said shredding is great to have in the bag, and speed is good to have in the bag, and people are fascinated with the technique, and it's all great. But that right there is the most crucial part of playing, is coming up with those, like I said, accent to snare. So instead of just going, you want to try to get an accent on that snare to make it more interesting. Cypress Hill, yeah. It's close. It's metal as hell. Yeah, so you gotta kind of look at stuff as a whole and go, what, and then like you start thinking, what was the best sounding thing that I played over that? And then you got to think, if I was to ask the majority of people, not just guitar players, what was the best thing that I was doing that appealed to you? You know what I mean? Then you go, someone will probably more than likely go, not. They're not going to say that. They'd probably go, you know what I mean? So like that would be like a great song. You know what I mean? And that's all, that stuff's on the fly. Everything I'm playing is off the fly. I'm showing you what I would probably take from it and what I would use and what I would think and what I think other people would like to hear because of melody. My tone? Thanks, man. Kid Rock is really, that's the other thing. A lot of people don't like Limp Bizkit and Kid Rock, but it's really interesting on how they play rhythms over that stuff. Yeah, with the rhythm fills. Yeah. So, some people may like the other. Some people might like the more, like melody stuff. Some might like where you're accenting the heavy part, where you're just. So you're playing off this. You're playing off the kick in this snare. So you go, that didn't sound good. But you're listening to play off of certain things in there. You know what I mean? But rhythm is fucking very, very important. And that's what I like. And that's why I was intrigued to like Starship Jane. You're playing the... So, you look at like something like where they're going... And you got that pedal tone over it. You know what I mean? And then you start going, well, if that was a piano, and then I'm playing the E, you know. So you got one guitar going. You know? Yeah, that's why Angus and Malcolm worked well together. And Malcolm was the main songwriter of all the guitar parts. You know what I mean? Let's make rhythm great again. Yeah, so it's like interesting, like looking at a concept like that, and then like I don't know, could I? I'd have to change everything over and record to that. Can I put one guitar in? Hmm. Should I fuck up the sound and put everything into the board and record a track? Maybe that's what I'll do on the next live stream. Maybe Sunday night we'll talk more about this, and I'll actually take this drum track, have everything set up so I can put everything in there, and then maybe I'll do a bass line and like a quick rhythm with that, and then maybe we'll put some piano over it. Thank you, sir, Jose. Yeah, and I'm just picking notes out of the scale. So, like, if I'm. So, like, a lot of people don't even look at this, right? Here's a D chord. So now just take this and put it on the D string. See what I'm doing? I mean, a lot of those cool, that sounds like Rush. But, I mean, it's a great way to actually change the sound of a chord from a D. And then if you look at that note, you can go to a G or a C. A. See what I mean? So now you start connecting notes in these chords. Yes, that's 4. Yeah. Do it in my denim jacket. So like even stuff like that, if I'm going. Those are cool. It's just a play off of 2 chords in 2 spots. You can even use the G. So if I use the E, this probably would sound better. So and then you start moving the chord with the chords. Yeah, happy 4th of July, everybody. What time is it? Winter fireworks. It's 3:44. But that'll help with everything. See how that works? It just works. I don't know why. It's a movement of a chord that it's all like same motion, same kind of chord. But that's how you can create a lot of cool stuff. So we'll do that. Maybe we'll do like a lead section, and I'll go through how my lead process would. I would come up with different chords, or maybe, you know, we'll do that live so you guys can see that it's not pre-done, and I'll track everything. I'll put the bass in there. I'll do a keyboard part. I'll do the guitars, and maybe we'll double track it real quick, and then I'll just solo over it, and then you guys can I'll put the track on. Maybe I'll do a song. I'll just do a video with the track, and you guys can use it to jam over the track. That way you guys can have something, you know. I got more chorus than normal. Again, even that right there, even though that's pretty cool, that might not sound good over chords. It depends on the chords and how they go and the drum beat and everything. We need to infiltrate the Rep Beato group, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that way you can learn. I mean, I got hundreds of videos on here. There's some learning videos and stuff. I do a lot of talking with the live streams because it helps me with my back, but you know, I even in the live streams, we always end up talking somehow about music, you know. And again, what I do is, if you watch me, in G major, I play licks out of my pentatonic positions. A, B, E. Those are my lick positions. My scale runs are out of the major. So all my runs are major, and I play out of the pentatonic minor. So when you watch me play my chords, that's all. Those are all just tied in. Now you want more? Oh, Rick Graham's unbelievable. Yeah, the 2-3-1-3, the 3 notes per string. Yeah, so when you start tying in your pentatonics, right here, see that B is in there, I mean the C, and then your B moves up. So now you got 3. And if you want to get 4, like Steve Morris, you can even do 4, but if you go, those 3 notes are, those are pentatonic, 3 note pentatonic. And if you look, here's B minor, E minor, A minor. See what I'm saying? Then you get your D major. Yeah, the three notes per strings is, you know, and that's what a lot of Ingve plays. Ingve plays three note pentatonics a lot. You know, where he's going, and then he'll switch into. Yeah, I love Leon Todd. He's awesome. He's another one that I always watch his channel. He's helped me with some of the fractal stuff as well. You know, and he's got a great band, Ragdoll. I love Leon Todd. You do three notes fast and land and bend in spots. Yeah, that's the trick, the phrasing part. So I know where all my minor notes are. So if I'm here in E, I don't think of it as E position. I think of it more as my A minor position, even though this is really A minor. So this is my E position, even though it's B minor, because here's B minor. But here's my G major triad and my E minor arpeggio. So I got my E minor and my G major together. So now I'm combining my relative minor with my major. Whoops. See how that sounds great? See that? Tricks of the trade. I've never shown you guys that. So there's a case in point where I might go B minor, which is the 5 to the 1. So my third string is my minor major for my pentatonics. E. D. Now that one is C, and it sounds alright. My B. A, B, So I'm picking off these chords. That's where that lick comes from. That's a E. That's an E power chord. Yeah, play piano. Yeah, a lot of this come from piano. That's how I kind of associated it. So like when I figured out that's a power chord, that's a power chord, I was like, so you're gonna play that with whatever the chord is. So if you don't know where your chord is, you would play this over a beat. Because that's a B chord. A. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I look for bends or even when I resolve, if you hear me, I'll slide back up to the note I started on. I'm just returning to the note that I started on for the resolve, which would be... You can't go wrong with that either. Yeah, yeah. You can play diminished chords too. There's like the power chord version, the full chord version, and if you get lost, the pinky's the it's like a D chord starting on the second string with the pinky on the first. Sliding in like Starsky and Hutch. Oh, no worries, Mark. You're gonna try that returning to the first note of the run bend? Yeah, it's a good way to always resolve. So, when he's sliding across the hood, yeah, that was funny. I wonder how many cars they dented doing that. Stand in the corner. Now I get it. I put common sense into stuff. Yeah, and it's like kind of like even if you don't really know theory and you're a basic beginner or intermediate, if you play a full chord, Let's say you just play like a A minor. And then you start looking, what's this one? That's an E. Even if you play power chords. Then you take this E, A, play it here. You're playing E with G with open D, and then you're playing the A up here. So you're just tying notes into notes and moving them around in octaves until you get a good sound. Like this sounds okay when you pick the notes, but when you go, it's a little bass heavy, so it's better here. Even if you just go to E. Now you could use that blues. You could throw it in blues. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff with all kinds of chords. You just... There's your A. I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do. Let's start the class now. It's 31. Some have dropped off, but yeah. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there that you can look. You know, I mean, that's a cool way of looking at it too, because I'm running the A minor scale back to A. I'm running it back to E there. A to E. A to E. A to E power chord. That's all I'm playing. I mean, there's so much you can do with that. It's unbelievable. Hey, what's up, Tennis? Rep posted a new video. Did he say how he lied about everything and he was sorry? Even taking that for the boxes. Let's see. You reverse it. Just a box position. I mean, that's easy too. He doesn't know what to do about the AI clone. You should call Daddy. Daddy's third in line at AT&T. They got a whole cybersecurity fucking company that is invested in that with over 100 employees. They could find that really quick. He's so full of shit. He just knows it's a lot of clicks. Feels like a Scorpions kind of thing? Yeah. Judas Priest. So you change the rhythm, make it a little more modern. I mean, you could go. You could throw that in there. Let's see. So if I'm playing, let's check out the chord. There's my F sharp. F sharp. So here's my lead playing. I'm looking at this chord here. There's my flat 7. So I'm looking at my A position. So now I know I can play that the A diminish. I can play F sharp diminish. So now I start looking at my lead choices as well. Total King Diamond feel? Yeah. Andy's fucking badass. Yeah, Rhett Scholl did that too. Rhett's the one in charge of that video. It's a click thing for him. And then everyone's gonna do videos on the Rhett Scholl video. It's almost like he's trying to lead the sheep. He's leading his pasture of followers when they don't realize he's dressed like Rick Beato. Rick Beato's dressed like Tim Pierce. It's unbelievable. The Minions, yeah. Minions follow, what's his name? Groat. Groat speaks in the... What's his name? Groat? Yeah. He speaks and they do. Stealing is stealing. It is property. Same thing. Yeah. That's so funny, man. So he's claiming he did the AI video and then he steals it. Because again, in your when you're creating videos, he could just simply put no remix and that would have caused the algorithm to block that video. Do you know that? Yeah, they're waking up. There's that diminished note, right? There you could go into E harmonic minor. And then you get your diminished arpeggio here. And there's so much you could do with that. He's a jeans jacket victim. Thank you, bro. I try. So if you don't know and you tuned in, like I don't know how much Donald knows or Music World. I play with Dave Spitz from Black Sabbath and Patrick from Yngwie Malmsteen. For you guys that don't know, we start rehearsals again next week. Yeah, no one. Oh, Rhett didn't mention anyone flagging his videos for asking people to flag his videos. Yeah, and that's against YouTube guidelines. You can't ask. You can't ask people to flag videos. Let's see where does the flat 5, which is the 7 on the D. So that's the blues note on the 5. So you can use E diminished would work great too. Right there. You can use that as a pivot tone too. Let's see. Just figuring out lead stuff which you could work out in there. So this is what I would be doing for leads. Working over these. So I would start working, like I take the chord notes and with that weird dissonant sound, and I would start figuring out lead notes to go over that and figure out where the solo for the best sound, kind of like what I'm doing. So I hope that helps some of you guys as well as watching me figure out. So like that kind of stuff coincides. I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time on that. Oh, you're out, mechanic? Oh, don't forget the Poker Jam. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. We talk about everything. What's great, music world, about this community is you can disagree or agree, and no one's going to tell you to fuck off. No one's going to get nasty with you. They'll just try to point their sides, because it's a very unique community where there's a lot of people in these chats and watch that are actually highly intelligent people. And it's not like some of the other channels I see where people going after people because they don't like their point of view. People are smart enough. Like, even like I said, you can. What was it? What? Let me think of the saying. Oh man, I forgot it. It was something along the lines is, um, something about a best friend is a man and learning from a man. But it has something to do with, but you can learn from everybody. Like a smart man, a dumb man, but learning from both of them is actually the way to learn, because that's how we learn to grow. It's not just the smart man that you learn about and what he has to say, but you have to listen to the dumb man too. And then you use your logic and you reason it out. It's not like a one-sided game. You can learn just as much smart things from a dumb man as you can learn dumb things from a smart man. You know what I mean? So it's one of these kind of communities where we go back and forth and stuff. Like what I'm showing you. There's no rhyme. Like, do you have to play like this? No. You could play more blues. You could play it like that. You can do whatever you want. I just try to bring people together and show them different possibilities or ideas to expand their minds beyond just the regular basic bullshit that everyone teaches. You can't well, according to YouTube, you have to hit no remix. That way people can't use your identity, because according to YouTube, you are copyrighted by your DNA and your video is a sign of that. But you have to hit the do not remix, which means that other people cannot use clips of you. It's that easy. When you're making a video and you hit no remix, allow remix, do not allow remix. When you hit do not allow remix, nobody can use anything from your channel from that video. Yeah, I've never met a person that doesn't know anything. Yeah, exactly. See what I mean? That's fucking funny as fuck, because that's the truth. And I learned that at a young age when I was like, why are we going to go watch this guitar player, dude? He sucks. Well, then you'll learn don't do that, because it sucks. Do you know what sucks? I think I do. Well, until you've seen it in full-blown live performance mode, he's going to play something that you can steal, one, and he's going to show you something that you never want to play because it sounds horrible over that chord progression. So you can learn both ways. Yeah, that's a great one too, right there. A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Exactly. That's a great fucking saying right there. Keep an eye on the idiots. Yeah. It's like even the chords that I was playing before where I'm going. So like if you're just going. You know, you're just fucking around with notes. Can you do that bluesy? Yeah. So you can do that, or you can play it more like White Lion. So, I mean, the technique is there. It just depends how you want to apply it. You want to learn how not to suck? That's easy. Stop listening to fucking bullshit YouTubers that think that. I mean, you can learn from bullshit YouTubers too, because you got common sense. You know if it sounds right. You've watched my channel enough to know that if they're bullshitting you. Oh, that's the truth. Well, here's the truth behind that, Jerry. How many big YouTubers actually suck at guitar? Because they were never good enough to make it in the real music industry. I got signed at 16 years old with my first label. That was Scotty Brothers. That failed. Then I got with Arista with Expose. I was 18 years old going on 19 years old. It was a $4 million signing bonus at fucking 18, 19 years old. They don't do that no more. The reason why I got signed was because I didn't suck and I could play and I could write. Of course you're going to make money when you're good at what you do. But if you're not good at what you do, more than likely, the guys like Rick Beato, I heard his band. I heard his original music. It sucked. As great as a teacher he is, he can't write a fucking really catchy song. That's the problem. The Max guitar can't write a fucking catchy song. You know, I do ad-lib shit that's more catchy than most of the guys. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but they don't know how to put that shit together in a way that people want to hear it. And that's the biggest part. You know, the guitar geek sucks at what he does. You know, as far as playing, music is a win. He's got some degrees behind him. He's a decent guitar player. Phil can play a little bit too, Philip McKnight. But they were never good enough to be signed because their songs weren't good enough to sell. That's the power of the industry. They'll make or break you, but you better be good at what you fucking do. And then you have an argument against the industry. Rick Beato has no argument against the industry because he never wrote a hit fucking song like that on his band. His band failed, his label failed, the management company failed, his record label failed. Everything he did failed. What got him started was a viral video on Facebook. And he has to be realistic to himself and think about this. The Shinedown shit and the production was a fucking lie. You know what I mean? You have to start to think about reality and why you never made it. You weren't good enough. You didn't write good enough. You played fine, but you couldn't write good enough. You know, no matter how good all this sounds, it don't mean shit. What means stuff? Whatever you're writing, it has to have some kind of... You got it. I mean, that's like stuff on the spot that I've always played. I mean, like if you can't ad lib like that, how are you going to get out and play with bands? And how are you going to write? You got to be able to write. You know, even in simple stuff like I was showing you before. Let's go. Let's use the drum track again. Here. You got to be able to put a track on with a drum beat and write something that's fucking good. You know what I mean? I mean, whatever it is, you got to fucking work it out so that people like it. I mean, just even bullshitting around. You got to be able to do that. Hey, from the Caribbean, what's up, bro? Rick's the third member of Steely Dan. Rick works out a few patterns. Yeah, he works out a few patterns. That's like me going, you know, I work out a lick. So I go. You know, if you take this. You know, and you're like, you know, you work that pattern out over that or whatever. Happy 4th of July, brother. Yeah, it is. And the reason why it's full of shit, what's that? How does the Ibanez in the back play? I got a couple Ibanez's. That one plays well. I actually got that one for sale. I think it's $450 with the case on reverb. I'm going to sell that and stuff because I have another one in the shop and I got another one over behind me. They play well. Where did I get this one from? We'll put this one up here. But I have this one. These are really good. I really like these. These are the better ones, I think. there are 420s or 420s. See how much cleaner it is? No offense to my sharp velvet. Oh, the intervals? Yeah, yeah. All right, Bloody. You have a great 4th of July. Yeah, it's getting close. I think I gotta go set the grill up for steaks and stuff. Oh, yeah? Yeah. They make these in a blue one, too. I'm trying to get the blue one. There's one in Miami that I like. But I really like these are the Jacoba necks. I really like this neck. There you go. Yeah, the bad Brad shred. The bad Brad shred. But I got the blue one down there. I got the other blue one is in the shop. It had a bad pot. So I got that one up there and the other one in a from a pawn shop. They both need to work. That one's perfect now, but that one's a little lightweight for me. But that sounds good. Let me see if I could grab it. It's more mid-rangey. Here, let me get up and do this so I don't drop it. It's a little more mid-rangey because it's a lightweight. This is a great guitar. I still, I might sell some guitars just because I have some other guitars coming. But this has more punch. No pedals. See, it's more mid-rangey. I play through Kemper. I'm running Kemper straight in. But it's a great playing guitar. And it's nice. If you were doing gigs, this is the guitar to go with as far as like cover gigs because you're playing for hours. Yeah, so I'm plugged straight in from my Kemper behind me into a mixing board into Scarlett. But I have a second Kemper that I run into a power amp through cabs. Bad Brad doxed himself recently on a live video. He had to stop and take the video down and restart it. Golden Corral. Yes. The latest Secret Lover Samurai video. Now this doesn't have as much gain as the other one, but you just turn the gain up a hair. Just put new strings on it. Poor bad Brad. How do you dox yourself, man? And the thing is, if he's around the area, like he kind of did that in the Guitar Center video. He's like, oh, it's right down the street, and he was in. I know he's in the Daytona area. I kind of know where he lives because I've been around that area. But yeah, they're all in it together, man. Not bad Brad, but the Rhett Scholes, the Rick Beatos. Again, they're all, even Jonathan Nathan Corda, because they all shill each other. Like Rick talks about Rhett talks about Tim Pierce talks about Rick. Jonathan Nathan Corda talks about Andy Wood talks about Jonathan. It's like, what is it? A secret society that we don't know about? I can take some of the. Let's see. I'll take some of the chorus off. Let's see. Where's the chorus? It's gonna sound heavier with less chorus. He could be. Ratshaw. Ratshaw. Yeah, a lot of people are calling him Ratshaw or Ratshill. It's like a new nickname. I think somebody on here coined it. Was it you, Funky? It might have been you. I think somebody called him Ratshill. Yeah, they all communicate. I mean, I'm putting out my video now. I mean, I don't communicate with Joe, but I know Joe goes on live Fridays and Saturdays mostly. So I do whenever, like Saturday afternoon. I don't know that there's many people on here. You know, I'll do my regular Sunday night at 8 and then my Tuesday night at 8. Other than that, it's a free for all for me. I just come on whenever. You know what I mean? The EU gay click in the islands. Oh, you used to go to the one in Clearwater? Oh, so are you still in that area? So you're in Florida. You're not far from me. Oh, the GC. Oh, you're near Clearwater too? Do you know JC Cameron? He's probably near you, bro. You guys should start a band called the Rat Shill Band, and you guys all dress in denim shirts. Holy shit, what a concept. The new Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Rat Shill. Manson. No. Oh, you're in Dallas now? Oh, damn. Oh, Mike Martin? Yeah. Oh, you're in Chicago? You're in Michigan now, too? Fuck, man. You guys just blew my 4th of July, man. I was happy. No, I'm just kidding. The Philippine flies. Oh, my God. Dude, if we could... If I put together a Rat Shill band, I'd play all 70s disco music. The YMCA. Come on, Andy. YMCA. Come on, Rick, do the solo and fuck it up like Nuno. Man, that was the most horrible thing. I watched that again with Rick playing with Nuno Betancourt and then fucked up the sour note. That motherfucker's so stiff on guitar. bro. You can't. What? You're like Nuno's great guitar player, but Nuno's cool as shit. He smokes a lot of weed, but he's cool as shit. You can play with Nuno. Nuno don't care. But I mean, yeah. Oh, firecracks. And so if anybody wants this, you know, I'll sell it for. I got it for about $300. So I'll sell it for $400 with a case. If anybody's interested, just tell me in the email, jittboy@yahoo. No, out of tune. The other place, Ormond Beach. What a fucking place, huh? Ormond Beach, the other place. I must get assaulted by some bikers in there. Bike week. I had no idea. I had makeup on, blonde hair. You in the band, boy? Yes, sir. Hold my jacket. Yes, sir. So when you kick him in the nuts and throw his jacket over his head and then run as fast as you fucking can in snakeskin cowboy boots. But don't let the clicks, the little spurs on the back. Oh, man. Man of War. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. Well, here's the thing. Because I play with Dave and those guys, and I did a live stream with Dave, and he'll tell you, bad-mouthing other musicians that are famous is like a forbidden thing in the music world. Once you start doing that, like Ted Poley did that about Sebastian and then had to change his tune. And the reason why he changed his tune is because he was almost banned because he was talking shit. And the cruises didn't like that. Music's a very picky thing. Like I'll trash guys like that, but I'm not gonna, I've had run-ins with guys on tours and stuff, and I'll say if he's a dick or not, but I'm not gonna say that he can't play or they can't play, Listen, playing for Rihanna is fucking easy, and let me tell you, Slash is a pretty good guitar player. Did you ever see the fucking blues thing he did with Brian Johnson? I think that's some of his best work. You used to live in Ocala and go to Ormond Beach? You'd almost call dibs on it? Yeah. Thoroughbred music. I remember them. I think I bought a Jackson 412 cab from them once. With the old red speakers. I think I paid like $275 for it, too. That was a long time ago. Van Halen made a career bad-mouthing his bandmates. He didn't at first, though. That was the thing. You gotta wait until you're famous. Like, Slash has talked shit about Axl. Axl's talked shit about... But that's after they had, like, 150 million apiece. Then you can talk shit. But just don't badmouth other people. Slash is an okay songwriter. I mean... The biggest songwriter of Guns N' Roses was, what's his name, Izzy Stradlin. That's why you don't hear Mr. Brownstone and all that stuff, that kind of songwriting. It was more blues-based, which is what Izzy Stradlin is. Izzy Stradlin's a greatly, greatly underestimated songwriter. But so is Nikki Sixx. Nikki Sixx is writing songs for pop and country artists. So do I. You know, as much as I play all that, you know, a lot of people, they're like, what? I go, that's where I make all my fucking money. You think I make it in rock and roll and shred? No. Look at Paul Gilbert. He's one of the greatest shredders of our time. You know, but he's not living in a fucking $10 million house. Yeah, when you're at work, you got to choose your words wisely. Exactly. Because you never know if it comes. Here's the thing. Slash could end up being a fucking A&R guy or have something to do with Atlantic or Geffen Records later in his career when he don't play no more. You don't know whose foot you might step on. I'm pretty good. Not bad. Thanks for asking. My back is so. It's been bothering me for a few days, but the pain meds, I took more pain meds and gabapentin than normal, so it's helping. But like even Slash when he had his other band, you know, when he was doing I forget the he did that heavy thing. He's a good songwriter on his own, you know. But the Guns N' Roses stuff, most of that was Izzy Stradlin. It's like Tracy Guns, you know. Tracy Guns doesn't get a lot of credit. He's a great guitar player. He can be hard to manage. Yeah, never burn bridges. Like at my point in my life, I don't really care. I'm 60 years old. I play probably Dave and Patrick are the last people I'll probably play with, and maybe for the next 2 years as I'm working out my injuries and stuff, we'll do some tours, and then I don't know how much longer. Yeah, snake bit. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to, you know. I can always talk on video, but actually physically playing, my hands are good. It's my legs and my back. You know, 6 bulging disc scoliosis and nerve damage is hard to deal with, and it's new for me because I just found out this year what it was from the dump truck. Now I understand why my other doctors are saying, no, he's healed in the stomach. We don't know what's wrong with him. Now I know why they didn't know, because it was a separate issue. By the way, Cool Breeze. Also, when you're sliding, I forget who I was talking about, but sliding back to that note, you can do that too. That'll set you up for other positions. Get off your long guy now. Some of the earlier stuff sounded like Striper. Kinda. Maybe. I don't know. I just play sometimes. You know, now if I'm playing like clean stuff, I might have to do something like on the bluesier side where I'm going. I might have to do something like that with a different tone, you know what I mean? But it's all similar. It's like the similar idea. It's similar. Even if I'm just playing just chords. You know, with a clean sound. Calling on You. Yeah, I always go back to and walk it back. Yeah, for sure. So that's the same note here. I just need my denim jacket on. The Neuralink shredders will be, yeah. Yeah, that's an important thing. That resolve, you know? See, that was the same octave. Oh. And these chords. Yeah. I gotta go too. I gotta go start the grill. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Have a great 4th of July. Watch your eyes and fireworks. Don't poke your eyes out with Roman candles. Yeah, it's got like low mids. It's got a cool sound to it. All right, everybody. Happy 4th of July. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow night.